let's just put this from the perspective of anyone listening right now that is currently in a amount of debt that they find unmanageable. And this is probably a pretty fair amount of our listeners. I think the average consumer debt by the average American is something like $56,000.
That's probably about right.
Blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind. But that was the latest stat that I saw. It might actually be higher than that now. But let's just say that someone's in that $50,000 of debt, and they're in either a day job or a studio where they're maybe making that much money per year. How does someone get out of debt? And let's just stick with the audio world, just because let's just say it's audio, because I think the entrepreneur has a slightly different type of problem getting out of a debt than someone that has a steady paycheck every single month from a day job. So let's just look at this from a self-employed person. How the hell do we get out of debt if we get to this point?
Yeah. Well, I would say we've talked about this in the podcast before in the past. Our advice to you from a banking perspective is to have a personal account and a business account, and that you keep the two completely separate. When you have debt, I think it's important, and I've had a lot of success in this recently, to have a separate account that's debt related. So the problem with debt, the problem with accounting, the problem with running a business is that you need to be able to look at the scoreboard, like I said, and know your financial condition at the drop of a hat. You should be able to pull your cell phone out and glance at it at any time and say, oh, I see how we're doing. Oh, cool. Here's the thing. Older generations, that are, older than me, this is mind-blowing to them. They've never had the ability to do this because they didn't have technology on their side. Us as a younger generation, we have a bigger opportunity than any previous generation to actually run good businesses because of the management accounting piece. We can actually use automated services. We can actually use online banking to immediately and instantaneously be able to take your financial temperature and know how you're doing as a company and whether you're actually winning or losing.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing is, first of all, keeping things separate. That's one of the first things I teach new businesses is, even if you're pre-revenue, just have a separate bank account that you're spending money out of, and that you're keeping things separate from day one, from day zero even. But I think the second step in this is, and this is a big step that a lot of people struggle with, is just taking your head out of the sand. Taking your head out of the sand, because people have this tendency to want to either ignore or pretend like something's not happening to them. So as they're getting fatter, they refuse to look at their weight. They refuse to weigh themselves. As they are going broke, they refuse to check their bank account. And it perpetuates the issue. If you are gaining weight and you're never checking your weight, you have no comprehension of how much weight you're gaining. And so you're just continually going up and up and up.
Yeah.
If you are broke and you have no money in your bank account and you never check it, you're now going to be more broke because you're getting overdraft fees on your debit card because you keep buying things you can't afford because you're never checking it, and it perpetuates the issue. So I think for us, just being aware of where we stand, looking at the score and getting your head out of the damn sand is going to be the number one most important part of making this work.
Yeah, and because we're successful podcasters, neither of us have ever struggled with this, so we're in a good position to teach it. I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, speak for yourself, friend.